जय श्री माताजी भैया, you may start now.
A very warm welcome to one and all in our session this morning. As you are well aware, these sessions are being organized on this YouTube channel and on the same Zoom link every day, thrice for seekers who are trying to understand more about Sahaja Yoga. We have one session in the morning at 8 a.m., one in the afternoon at 4:15, and one in the evening at 7:45 p.m. And the agenda, or let's say the intent here, is just to introduce you to what is Sahaja Yoga and to get to that experience of self-realization. In the end, we also have an open session where seekers can come and ask any questions that they may have on the Zoom link, or they can leave their comments or questions in the YouTube chat, and we try and answer them. We have these sessions in Hindi, most of them. Only on Saturday morning, we have one session in Marathi, and Sunday morning, this one, we have one session in English for seekers who requested to understand this in their own languages. Apart from this, we have one session in the evening at 5:30 p.m. for seekers who now want to understand Sahaja Yoga in more depth and go into deeper meditation sessions. So this is the small introduction about these sessions, how they are going on about. In the next hour or so, now we will have a brief discussion about what is Sahaja Yoga, our internal subtle system, and then the most important bit of self-realization. So what is self-realization? What is Atma Sakshatkar? What is Kundalini awakening? What is yoga? All these questions are left still unanswered for us, and we have some vague ideas about what it could be. We think that, first of all, this is quite impossible for us. The logical mind thinks that this happens only for people who do tapasya for very long. And we are all normal people, we are sinners, this, that, we cannot get to it. Secondly, we think that maybe by doing some activities, we will get something higher, some outward activities that anyone can do. Or we lead a life full of very difficult things to do, which includes a lot of tapasya in daily lives, and then we may get it. Or things like that. But the point is that we don't know what it is. What is yoga? What is the union with the divine? What is Atma Sakshatkar? Even if we do get it today, we won't know that we've got it. That is the state of our awareness right now. Actually, our evolution till now happened not in our awareness. We were not aware when we lost our tails from, let's say, monkeys to become human beings. We were not aware of what is happening. Because in animal stage, we are in the pash, we are in the bondage of Lord Shiva. Whereas once now we have become human beings, we are completely aware, and we are given the choice and the understanding to seek and find out and get the higher self. Our awareness and our understanding is so muddled now that we have forgotten and lost our moorings and our heritage, we can say, of this great nation of ours, where self-realization, Atma Sakshatkar, has been talked about or has been given to people, very few of them, but it's the only country where it has been really done in the past. Self-realization, or let's say the yoga, the word yoga itself means the union. Now, union of what? Union of the Atma that resides inside all of us with the Paramatma, that is the primordial being, we can say, that is present all around us, the energy that is present all around us. That union has to happen. That is yoga. And it happens sahaja. That means it happens spontaneously. We do nothing about it. That is why Shree Mataji named it Sahaja, for us to really understand and grasp what is it that we can do about it. Something that happens spontaneous on its own. For example, every living process happens spontaneously. We breathe spontaneously. We do not have to learn it or practice it or anything like that. All our systems inside, like digestion, etc., they all happen on their own. Imagine if we have to go to libraries to read about it and then do it, or we have to stand on our heads and then it happens, or some such other thing that we may think of doing outwardly, of breathing exercises or something like that. So none of that works for a living process. You cannot pull the primule out of a seed and make a tree out of it. You just put it in the Mother Earth and it sprouts and it becomes a tree. That is how living processes work. That is what is Sahaja. That is what is spontaneous. So our process, our evolution also happens spontaneously, but it happens in our awareness. For the first time, we are aware of it and we seek it and we get it if we are ready for it and if there is someone who can give it to us. So it's like one enlightened candle can only enlighten other candles. If there's no spark in this candle, there's no light. Whatever it may do, it cannot enlighten itself. So all enlightenments that have happened in the past also have been given by somebody. So that is why there was this one guru, one shishya parampara, or one guru, one disciple sort of a, you can say, tradition in our country, where the great sages who uh, got it from their gurus, let's say, would give it to one out of thousands that they would test. And finally, they would agree that, yes, this is the right person to get the self-realization. And that has been the history where one among thousands or millions were realized. And then nobody understood them. Either they stayed in the hills and dales, in Himalayas and forests, and never came to live with the normal people like us, or when they took birth as Kabira or so many great sages in the country that have happened, then people thought that they were mad people. And some of them were poisoned, some of them were crucified, some of them were tortured or weren't allowed to live long because we just couldn't understand what they were talking about. We thought that they were all very vague, random people just talking big and maybe even eating up the purses of the so called religious people that would come at those times. And thus, Kabira said that, Kaise samjhao sab jag andha. The whole world is blind. How do I explain it to them? The reason behind is that there's a huge difference in a realized soul and an unrealized soul. There's a completely fourth dimension that they get. There's a new awareness that they get. And once they see in that awareness, they start talking in a very different language. And there's normal people like us think that this is completely off. We can't accept this. It's like a person living on the 10th story sees the world in a different light, right? Whereas a person living on, let's say, the ground floor would not be able to see. So the idea of Sahaja Yoga for Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi, whose photograph you see right behind me, was that this must go to the masses. Time has come for the masses to get that upliftment in their awareness, even if a little bit to start off, so that they can see that there is something higher. And when they start seeing, they achieve it more and more, and they get to the complete awareness. It's like we have a lamp that is broken up. It's not working. And what we do is that put a small light inside it. Even if that light is not coming out properly right now because the lamp is not okay, it's broken, it has some things not working all right. In that light, we can see what is wrong with it and we can correct it. Without that light, we don't even know what is wrong with it and we cannot correct it. That is the method of Sahaja Yoga, where by Shree Mataji's grace, We all get our self-realization very easily. And in the light, we can see what is wrong with us. For the very first time, we can see what is wrong with us and we can know for sure what is to be done. Up until now, things work out in a fashion where we get to the doctor and the doctor tells us this is the last stage of your cancer or anything like that. You have a few months left to live. And up until then, we don't even know what is going on inside us. Or we are so mentally not okay, stressful. People are in so much trouble these days and they don't know what to do, what is wrong, how to get out of it. All of these things are creating such a confusion and we are left with no knowledge. We try everything outwardly and some of them work for some time and then they fizzle out. And then we don't know what's wrong, what we should do. So what happens in Sahaja Yoga when we get our realization? I think that is the first thing that we don't know what to expect. So first thing that we do is we get to a thoughtless awareness. We get to a thoughtless state, but are completely aware. And that gives us the first feeling of peace and joy. After that, we feel the vibrations, what we call is Param Chaitanya, is the living power of God that is all around us. We say that God is all around. We've never felt Him. For the first time, we start feeling Him. And that power starts flowing through us and into our hands. That gives us a great joy and a lot of bliss we feel. With these vibrations, we can feel what chakras are not okay inside us, and we can use these vibrations to correct those chakras. We can also feel what is not okay with the person, let's say, sitting in front of me or whom I'm thinking about. We can find out their chakras and then even give them vibrations and cure them, let's say, or put things all right for them. We can use these vibrations to understand or take decisions in life which seem very difficult because the vibrations tell us in absolute answers what to do, what not to do. So a person's coming and standing in front of me wearing a Bhagwa Vastra. I don't know whether he's a real saint or he's a crooked person who's come just out of jail. So we don't understand anything about anybody. But with these vibrations, we can tell. Today, even if God Himself comes and stands in front of us, none of us would recognize Him because we don't have the eyes, we don't have the understanding, we don't have the awareness. So that is what we have to achieve. We have to achieve that awareness, that understanding, that we have to get into that completely new dimension, which gives us a lot of things in life. Once we get these vibrations, we can also give realization to others. We become so powerful that with our hands, Kundalini starts moving. Such amazing things happen to us, and we think that it's really impossible, and this is too fantastic. But that is how we have been built. We don't know our own value up until now. We think we are just this person who has to work, who has to take care of household, who has to do this, and this is what life is. You save and then you die. What? So God Almighty didn't make us for all of this. He has made us for a higher purpose, and He's made the whole humanity for a higher purpose. When we achieve that, we become a beautiful people, and we become what He's built us for. Very quickly now, we'll talk about the internal subtle system that we have inside, just to give you an idea about how we are made inside. So there will be a chart coming up on our screen. So from the outside, we all look very different, but from the inside, this is how we've been made. When we were in our mother's womb, the power that created us, whatever name we may call it by, entered through our fontanelle bone area, which is at the top of our head. And our brain being a prism-shaped entity, it refracted into three parts. The one coming from left went to the right, which is in the yellow. The one coming from the right went to the left, which is in the blue. One in the center created all of these chakras or centers that you can call, and came down and settled at the very end of our spinal cord. There's a bone called as sacrum bone. Very interestingly, the Greeks named it sacrum, which means that they knew there is something sacred about it. And the energy, when it settles, it forms coils, 3.5 coils. This is the mother power, which is there with us in all our lives. And her only goal is to give us our self realization, our second birth, which is why she's called as Kundalini. As kids, we are called as, that we are form of God Himself. They're so innocent and so pure, which is when the frontal area is open. We see it's very soft. As we grow up, we develop our ego and conditionings and whatnot. And that is when this calcification happens and the Kundalini goes into a Suptavastha, sleeping mode. Awakening of this Kundalini and piercing through our Sahasrara, spontaneous bone, is what is self realization. And that is how we get our union with the divine. Now, to quickly talk about the 3 channels, we have. So, all the time we are thinking, we don't know what is it that we are thinking. Sometimes we don't know even that we are thinking. Our thoughts come from either the past or the future. We are rarely ever in the present. So these channels, the left and right, take care of our past and future. For example, the left channel takes care of our past completely. All our past is stored here. It is called as the Ida Nadi. It takes care of our sympathetic nervous system on the left hand side. All our emotions come from this channel. All our desires also come from this channel. So this is the channel of our desires. People who are too much in the past, too much thinking of the past all the time, who are very, very emotional, work too much on this channel. And this being the moon channel, it gets cooled up too much and it causes various diseases which can be psychosomatic in nature, which are mostly incurable. We feel the status of this channel on our left palm. After, on the right hand side, the channel is called as Pingala Nadi. Pingala Nadi is the channel of our future. So people who are very futuristic, who always think of the future, plan for the future, I'll do this, I'll do that, very aggressive and ambitious people, they work too much on this channel. People who work too much physically or mentally in the offices also, because both of them are taken care of by this channel. They overuse it. This being the sun channel gets heated up a lot and we develop a lot of diseases inside us. In the center is what is called as the Sushumna Nadi. This takes care of our parasympathetic. And this is the channel we can see of the present, neither the past nor the future. And this is the path for Kundalini to rise up and pierce through our frontal bone. So people who lead balanced lives, who are neither very aggressive, futuristic, neither very pessimistic and in the past and all of that, they are the ones who get to their self-realization most easily. Which is why it was said that you must be in balance, you must lead a balanced life. Whatever was taught by the gurus in the past, we'll see that these teachings were there so that we lead a life which prepares us for our self-realization, that when the time is right, we may get it. Now, to talk about the chakras, very quickly we'll do that so that we can move on to meditation. The first one that we see is the Mooladhara chakra. This takes care, so every chakra inside us takes care of some organs physically, of our mental being as well, our emotional being as well. And there are qualities associated with these chakras, which are of the deities that take care of these chakras. When we go against those qualities, these chakras are caught up and we develop several diseases and problems because of that. But when these chakras are awakened, those problems go away slowly and we develop the qualities much more inside us. For example, Mooladhara chakra is the quality is innocence and wisdom. So children, especially who are very innocent, they are strong with the Mooladhara chakra. When we go against this innocence, or let's say we go against, we do wrong things in terms of sex, etc., then this chakra is caught up. And we can see that the organs around are excretionary and sex related, they all can go into some troubles. One of the main quality of this chakra is wisdom. When we develop this chakra very strongly, we get pure wisdom. We know what to do, what not to do, at what time and what age. And especially in children, when this is awakened, they are very much helped in their lives. This chakra is represented here. So all these 7 chakras that we have are represented on our hands, on our palms, and we can feel the status of those chakras when we meditate. So this chakra we can feel where the palm meets the arm. This is the place on both sides. Every chakra has a left, right, and center. And there are various reasons because of which they are caught on these 3 parts. After this comes the Swadhisthana chakra. As it is mentioned, the power, or let's say the quality, is creativity. All our creative powers come from this chakra. All our dynamism, all our work that we do, also actually we do from Swadhisthana chakra, because the right channel starts from here. All pure knowledge of the divine also comes from this chakra. So the pure knowledge that we're talking about right now, this is the purest of purest. And when we go against this, let's say we go to tantrikas who are right opposite to what we're talking about, they use the wrong kinds of knowledge, then this chakra is caught in. On the right hand side, we'll see that the right channel emanates from Swadhisthana chakra, which means that we are actually doing all our planning, thinking of the future, etc., the mental activities from this chakra. This chakra converts the fat cells that we have in our stomach to gray cells and provides it to our brain for thinking. If you're all the time thinking a lot, planning a lot for the future, we are using up this chakra too much. We can see that it takes care of the liver, pancreas, spleen, uterus in women, etc. All of these are neglected if we are thinking too much. And people you will see that who are stressed too much usually are the ones who take to liver troubles. People who plan too much of the future are the ones who will find take to diabetes, etc. So once again, when the chakra is awakened, these things can be put all right, and we can get rid of these diseases also, and we can have a more balanced life. The chakra is represented on both our thumbs. After this comes the Nabhi chakra, which is right behind our navel in our spinal cord. So all these chakras are in fact in our spinal cord. The qualities mentioned here are generosity and evolution. By the grace of this chakra, we get all kinds of family life and monetary life, career, etc. All those things get sorted out, and we have a very satisfied and very bountiful life with all the boons given to us. When this chakra is awakened, of course, we become very generous to others. So miserly people are catching on this chakra a lot. And when this chakra is awakened, we actually, because of this chakra, we seek God. So all our seeking comes from this chakra. And at animal stage, we were seeking, let's say, food and shelter, etc. Now we have started seeking money, power, family, etc. Slowly and gradually, we realize that none of this gives us the joy that we are looking for. And thus our seeking moves towards the higher self, God, or whatever you may call it. So that great boon comes because of this chakra. This gets caught up if we don't have a balanced family life, or monetarily we are in trouble. Also, as we talked about, people who are miserly, etc. This is represented on both our middle fingers. Around this is what we call as the Bhavsagar, which is the void inside us. So Bhavsagar, we have heard the reference quite a lot, but this is actually the place of dharma inside us. And the dharma is not Hindu, Islam, or Christianity, or any of those. In fact, this dharma is the true religion inside of us, which tells us what is right, what is wrong. And this has been established by various gurus that have happened across the world And in Sahaja Yoga, we accept all of them, not only accept, we worship them. And being fanatic for any one of them, the real ones that have happened in the world, makes this chakra get caught up. If we go against the innate religion inside us, this is caught up. If we take to wrong gurus who are not really gurus and accept them as gurus, this chakra is caught up. This is represented around the center of our palm on both hands. After this comes the Anhat chakra, the heart chakra, we can call it. This is right behind our sternum bone and is the chakra on the center. It gives us that confidence, that protection, that God Almighty is there to take care of us. And that sense of confidence or protection, whenever it gets disturbed, we may develop various troubles. And for example, women who are very insecure with their husbands or family, they can develop breast cancer. Or children who are, you'll find that afraid a lot, are the ones to get sick a lot, because our all our antibodies are also taken care of by this chakra. On the right hand side is the father principle inside us. If the father is not there, or the relation is not okay with the child, or as a child he is not okay with his father, then the chakra is caught up. Also, it's caught up because of some other reasons. And you'll find that children who have asthma are probably suffering because of this. On the left hand side is the mother principle, similarly. On the left hand side is also the place of Atma. You can see. So, Atma, as we talked about, is the reflection of the Paramatma in all of us. And it is there, it is watching, and it knows everything, but it is still not in our attention and not really driving the whole show. When the Kundalini awakens, by Kundalini crossing this, you can say that a spark comes and the Atma comes into our attention. We feel this chakra on the small little fingers. Of course, the qualities are love and compassion, when we know that everyone is just the same, the Atma. After this comes the Vishuddhi chakra, which is right behind our throat. And this is responsible for all our communication, the face, visage, the ears, nose, throat, eyes out apart, and our hands, everything. So our complete communication happens because of the chakra. Our speaking, of course, our tongue, etc. This chakra also gives us very great qualities. Like when we raised our heads, we really knew that we are collective beings. But that's still right now very, very mental. So when we get our realization, we truly know, because of these vibrations that come from each one of us, that we are part and parcel of the whole. This microcosm is part of the macrocosm, and we are part of one being. That is how we truly become collective. And we can see the world as it is, as a Leela that it is, and we become the witness. The chakra is caught up on the left hand side when we feel guilty a lot. So people who blame themselves for every nonsensical thing and every small thing, that, oh, I've done this bad and that bad and this and that, they have to know that God Almighty can forgive anything that we do. And there's no point in settling with those things in our lives. They just trouble us, and we just have to move on and not do those things again. But if we keep doing too much of that and blaming ourselves, this chakra is caught up very badly. And the worst thing that happens is we do not feel the vibrations in our hands when this chakra is caught up, because the nerves of our hands come from this chakra. 16,000 nerves cross this plexus physically. On the right hand side, this chakra is caught up when we shout at others a lot. You are good for nothing. Bombastic people, using bad words, putting others down with our words and our shouting, etc. People who take to tobacco also ruin Vishuddhi chakra, of course. We feel this chakra on both our index fingers. After this comes the Agya chakra, which is right here inside in the optic chiasma. It's literally across like this, as it is shown. And the three nadis we see come and cross over, and it's a very small space left for Kundalini to pass through. The main quality that is mentioned here is forgiveness. So when we are not able to forgive others, this is caught up. We can see that our head starts hurting when we are very angry with someone. And simply forgiving opens up this chakra. You can see that there are two balloons right after, which are shown as ego and superego. Whatever actions we do in life creates ego inside us. It may be little more, whatever, but there is an ego. That is how we've been built. And whatever conditionings we get, that means whatever we learn of what we should do, we should not do, all of that translates into a superego inside us. One or the other is always constructing the path for Kundalini to pass through. But when we forgive on the Agya Chakra, Kundalini passes Agya and it sucks in both these things. That means that it eats up all our karmas and the path for Kundalini to pass through opens up. This chakra is represented on both our ring fingers. At the end is what is called as Sahasrara. This is the 1,000 petal chakra right at the top of our head on the fontanel bone. And this is called as Brahmarandra, which literally means the hole to meet the Brahma. This is also called as the Dasham Dwar, etc. So many names are given. When Kundalini passes through Sahasrara, the all-pervading power starts flowing through us, and it connects all of these chakras inside of us and puts us into balance and brings peace and bliss to us. Now, we have talked a lot about the chakras and a lot of the theories covered up. Let us get into meditation. There are some steps to be first seen, which you can see with your eyes open. Later on, we'll do these steps with our eyes closed. We first try to balance ourselves out with the 5 elements that have made us. We use the elements quite a lot in Sahaja for several methods. We'll use a few of them now for getting into meditation. In the first step, as is shown here, we'll keep the left hand, which is the desire power, in our lap, and put the right hand on the Mother Earth. This we'll do for balancing our left channel. Then we'll bring the right hand in our lap and put the left hand bent like this towards the sky. Now we'll bring both the hands on the Mother Earth. Now all our next steps we'll do with the right hand. We'll keep the left hand in our lap open as is shown here and put the right hand on our heart and press it here. When we meditate, we'll have some steps, we'll have some prayers along with this, and we'll have our eyes closed. After this, we place this hand on our forehead. Place it across like we would when we would have a headache, and press it from both the sides, and bend our head forward a little bit. After this, we bring this hand to the back of our head and push back our head towards the sky. In the last step, we'll stretch our fingers completely and place the center of our palm at the top of our head, which was a soft bone when we were kids, which is called as the fontanel bone, and press it. While pressing it, we'll move it in a clockwise direction so that our scalp moves along with our hand. These are all the steps that we will do. Now it is easy to understand that just by moving our hands and doing some prayers, this probably cannot happen so easily. The thing is that we talked about there has to be someone who gives it to us. There has to be an enlightened candle who enlightens the other candles. Shree Mataji is there to give it to us. Her photograph emanates those vibrations, which does this great job for us. So we have to look at her photograph with complete humility. This is a very, very special photograph. We keep both the hands open in our lap and sit straight, not very straight, not slouching. And look at Shree Mataji's photograph. Complete respect and humility. We'll keep all our thoughts aside, all our questions aside, and just have one thought that we must get our self realization. We'll slowly close our eyes and bring our attention inside. Now we will do the steps that we had just seen. We'll keep the left hand as is open in our lap and put the right hand on the Mother Earth. This we do to cleanse our left channel, our Ida Nadi. We'll pray that Mother, please clear out my Ida Nadi. Mother, please take out all the impurities and negativities of my left channel through the Mother Earth. We'll bring the hand back into our lap and place the left hand bent from the elbow towards the sky. And keep the right hand open in our lap. We'll pray that Mother, please clear out my Pingla Nadi through the ether element. Please take out all the imbalances of my right channel through the Mother, through the ether element. We'll bring our attention to both her palms and just see what is happening there. Mother, please clear out my Pingla Nadi, my right channel, through the ether element. Now we'll place both our hands on the Mother Earth. Here we will pray, Mother, please bring us into complete balance. Please take out whatever impurities are still left in my Ida and Pingla Nadi through the Mother Earth and bring us into the present, into complete balance, into the center. We'll bring our hands back into our lap. For the next steps, we'll keep the left hand open in our lap as is and do the steps with the right hand only. We'll bring our right hand on our heart and press it a bit. Where we will pray. Actually, we will state a fact. Mother, I am the pure spirit. We are actually not this body's mind, these thoughts, this ego, whatever we think of ourselves, these are all Nashwar. The only eternal thing is the spirit inside us. So we say with full confidence that, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Now, we've seen that feeling guilty is very, very dangerous to us. So we leave the decisions of our actions to God Almighty and not think of them. And He's the ocean of love and forgiveness. So we'll not challenge His powers to forgive and say that I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we'll bring this hand on our forehead and place it across and press it from both sides. We'll bend our head forward a little. Here, we have to forgive everyone. You don't have to think of anyone, no names required. You just forgive. By not forgiving, we don't do anything. We play into the hands of people who have done us wrong. Whereas by forgiving, we leave it to God to decide. Say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone, myself also. Now we'll place this hand at the back of our head where we placed the pillow and push back our head towards the sky. Here, for our own satisfaction, we have to say that, O God, O Lord Almighty, if we have done any mistakes against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. O God, if knowingly or unknowingly I have done any wrong against you, please forgive me. We can bring our hand back into our lap to rest it a bit. Now, we'll stretch our right palm completely and place it at the top of our head on the fontanel bone area so that the center of our palm is at the fontanel bone and our fingers are outstretched. We'll press it here and we'll move the hand so that the scalp moves along with the hand in a clockwise direction. We'll move our hand so that the scalp moves along with the hand in a clockwise direction. And we'll bend our head forward a little while doing so. We'll continue moving the hand in the clockwise direction. Here, we will have to ask for it very humbly. Without our asking for it, Shree Mataji cannot give a realization. So, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my yoga, my union with the divine. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. We'll bring our hand back into our lap. Both the hands will keep open in our lap. Keep our attention where our hand was just now and sit for meditation for a few seconds. Once again, we'll bring our right hand on the top of our head where we had just pressed and raise it a few inches above. We'll see that there is a cool breeze coming out of our head and touching our hand. We'll move our hand left, right, front, back a little, and we'll see that it is coming from a particular place. It can also be hot for some of us. We'll bring the right hand back into our lap and see with the left hand. Place it just a few inches above the top of our head, continental bone area, and move it front, back, left, right a little. We'll see the breeze coming out of our head and touching our hand. We'll bring the hand back into our lap and also see now the very center of our palms. We'll bring our attention and see if there's a cool breeze in one hand or both the hands coming out of our palms. It can be a very subtle feeling, so we'll look at it very minutely. We'll also bring our attention to our fingers. At the tip of our fingers, you may feel some tingling sensations in some fingers. This is because of these chakras which you talked about. Some of them may have some troubles. Now, in the last step, we'll put both our hands completely up, elbows straight, palms open towards the sky, and head bent backwards. We'll ask one of these three questions 3 times. Oh God, is this the Param Chaitanya? Is this the divine energy, cosmic energy? Is this the power of love of God? Any one of these three questions 3 times. In answer, your vibrations will improve. We'll bring the hands back into our lap slowly. Keep our attention at the top of our head once again and sit in meditation for a few seconds. We will now slowly open our eyes and look at Shree Mataji's photograph. We can see that there are no thoughts, even with our eyes open right now. This is the first bone of our realization, where we get the thoughtless awareness. We'll bring both our hands in a namaskar to Shree Mataji and the Kundalini inside and thank them for this blissful experience. For those of us who are newly joining us, please know that this is like the primule coming out of a seed. It needs the daily care of water and sunlight in the form of meditation and collective meditation. For this, again, you don't have to pay anything. You just have to spend some time for your own self. There are some methods in Saj Yoga to clear ourselves out and bring us into balances and protect ourselves. It's very important that we learn all of that and practice in our daily lives. To do that, you must join our WhatsApp channels, groups. All of this will help you to learn more. You must go to your nearby centers to learn more and practice this in connectivity. Didi will help us learn more of this now. Jai Shri Mataji.
Devi Mataji, who are attending this session first time, we are requesting to subscribe our channel. Uh, on YouTube light chat box, you can see 4 links from our site. First link is WhatsApp group link. Please join WhatsApp group. From that, you will get all the notifications and updates about sessions and Sahaja Yoga. Second link is our Zoom meeting link. Seekers who have any question or want to share their experience can join Zoom meeting link, or you can write your questions in YouTube live chat box. On a daily basis, we try to resolve your questions and reply to your queries. Third and fourth link is our channel link. On YouTube, we have 2 channels. First is on which you are attending online meditation, and second is for Shree Mataji speeches. Both the channels are completely non-commercialized, non-monetized. These channels have been started with the intention that you can find your self realization at your own place, at your comfort. So please do share link with seekers who are really want their self realization, and the people who are really want to get energy of the god, or who are searching for uh, god blessings. In description box, you can check tutorial videos link, from where you will get videos that how to do food soaking, how to take bandhan, how to give vibrations. So please watch that videos. It will be really helpful. And on our YouTube channel, you will watch short videos on our chakras and nadis, so that you will get complete knowledge about Sahaj Yoga. On this channel, on a daily basis, 3 self-realization sessions have been going on. First is at 8 a.m., second is around 4:15 p.m., third is in the evening around 7:45 p.m. You can join any of the session as per your time, as per your availability. If you are attending this session for 15 to 20 days and you are completely aware about all the chakras in Nadi, so you can join our deep meditation session which holds on 5:30 p.m. on a daily basis. So there is no question, Bhaiya.
Let's take Shrimatri's permission and move ahead.
Okay. So we are closing this session now. Thank you so much, Shree Mataji, all the deities, for today's meditation. And we are really sorry for any mistake that we have done. Thank you so much, Shree Mataji. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shrimat.